Thank you again for attending this year's Streets event. Certainly one of the highlights for us each and every year is when we award our Trailblazer of the Year award. And that thrills me beyond belief, Amy, to be able to award this year's Trailblazer presentation to you. And all of the exceptional work that you and your many colleagues. And if I start listing them, I'm going to forget someone. So I'm not going to try to do that. But it's such an honor to be able to recognize United Way for the exceptional work that you have done. Certainly day in and day out, year in and year out, but in this last year in particular. And I'm wondering if you could speak to how it is that United Way and you and your leadership team decided to respond in the way that you did to the pandemic and to those of us who are your funding partners.
Yeah, well, Tim, let me first say just what an honor it is to receive this award on behalf of our entire team. And I'm glad that you didn't start to list names, because when we start to do that, in addition to like, oh gosh, what if we forget somebody, is also just the staff who works at United Way is a huge part of the equation, but it's only part of the equation. Our volunteers, our donors, our board members, our council members, there are just so many people who are personally invested in the work that we do. And that's the only way any of this happens, including you and the many, many amazing partners we're so privileged to partner with. So when we think about what this year looked like, I certainly don't want to minimize at all the enormous amount of care and effort and work that went into it, because it's huge. But on the other hand, Tim, we sort of think this is what we were built for. This is why we're here. This is why we believe so many entrust us with their dollars, their volunteer time, all of their buy-in with our work, because the expectation is when our community needs us, we try to find a way. And I just could not be more proud of the entire United Way network here, locally and across the country, for all the ways that people came together, thought creatively, persevered, and did what we could for our partners. It was just an absolute honor for us to try to support great work like the work that Pathfinders is doing.
When you say United Way is built for this, I am mindful, and we talked about this in choosing United Way for this year's Trailblazer Award recipient, that United Way was one of the very first funding partners of ours who reached out and said, what do you need as an organization? And so you were responsive from day one. And the Mask Up Milwaukee and the emails asking us, could you help with supplies? And you had access to some PPE. And what is it that we needed? And checking in with us regularly to find out, how were we doing?
For me, it just really highlights sort of what's important about the United Way model, is that no one of us can hope to do everything that needs to be done. But when we figure out where we can play our own part, whether it's as an individual donor, us as a funder, us as a partner, you as an amazing service provider, that's how our community gets to the best possible place. And so then, of course, there's lots of questions about what's the highest and best role? How do you navigate that? We believe we're accountable to the thousands and thousands of donors who trust us with their dollars. And so in most years for us, you know this very well, that's some pretty high reporting requirements. That's some real outcomes, data-based work, data space-based work, work-based in data, to make sure that our donor dollars are being used as effectively as they can. But we also just had such trust that our donors would understand that this was just a different environment. This was just a different time that required us to do things a little differently. One of those things, Tim, you've said this before, it's not something that happens overnight. It's something that happens over years and years of being in relationship with each other, and how you elevate from maybe small P partnership to big P partners. And, before I was in my role at United Way, I had the privilege of leading a funded agency here in Milwaukee that remains a partner of United Way's. And so from that side of the partnership agreement, I had experienced exactly the same thing where when things were great, United Way was a great partner. And when we were challenged by something that we were working through, United Way was just as strong, if not an even stronger partner for us in those moments. And, we share, of course, Pathfinders is one of our many favorites, but we're lucky to share that relationship with a lot of organizations. And I think that speaks to a lot of how, though this community has been through a lot in this past year, how we in a lot of ways fared better than many other communities because of the great nonprofits, because of the great support we get from our donors. I think we really saw that materialize this past year, and so proud of everybody who's a part of that.
I would be remiss if I didn't at least note United Way has continued to make COVID-specific funding available to organizations like Pathfinders. That has really filled in critical gaps as they emerge. The ongoing availability of supplies and resources that you and your team message out to us as being available. Certainly, top of mind is the amazing success that you and your team and those of us who are partners with you had in the most recent campaign. The fact that that ambitious and one might say audacious goal was not only met but exceeded. I had the honor of serving on the campaign in the nonprofit sector. And so I was privy to a lot of sort of the insider baseball, so to speak. And there was still always this, God, can we do this? And sure enough, you guys did. And that too is, I think, such a testament to how you marshal the community will to rise together to meet these challenges. And it certainly wasn't just the pandemic. All of the issues of racial inequity and longstanding systemic, disadvantages that so many people in our community face, you were front and center on those as well as an organization. And so, like we needed any more reason to select United Way as this year's Trailblazer Award. So this is sort of anticlimactic before I ask everyone to join me in a toast. I don't have the full award in front of me because it's a big plaque. Oh, well, good. Let's see what you have. Oh, beautiful. That is wonderful. Because what I was going to show was this little name badge that nobody can see that will go on our plaque here, that once we're back open to the public, folks can certainly see.